Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me. And you know what today is? It is Wednesday, which means it's Spirit Wisdom Wednesday, where we gather here together in the healing space and allow some beautiful spirit wisdom to flow through. If you are new to me, oh my gosh, I already dropped my smoky quartz. My name is Meredith and I'm clumsy. This is my heart-centered business. I'd love to welcome you here. It's called the Healing Hummingbird. And what I love to do is help healers, givers, and spiritual go-getters reclaim their power to heal themselves, receive that healing, and integrate the big, brave heart of the hummingbird spirit. So welcome to everyone. I missed you so much. Last week, my voice was completely gone, so I was not able to jump on a live or record any audio. So I'm so happy to be back with you and welcome you into this space. It's kind of a more cozy vibe today. And what Spirit wants to talk about today is offerings. And I attempted to write some notes and they were like, no, you need to trust and channel some of this. So that's what we are going to do. And I have a feeling that we are going to get some messages about channeling generally. So let's just jump into it and see what happens. So first they want me to start with, oh my gosh, I keep dropping this. So weird. I feel like that's a message already coming through. So I'm going to ask them to hold off on the group messages and focus on the messages about offerings. So over the weekend, I was on a group call with some spiritual friends and we were doing a spirit circle. And I felt compelled to open my medicine bundle to kind of bring in the energy of healing, like a sacred energy. And inside the medicine bundle, there's all these sacred stones that I've put a lot of energy into, a lot of spiritual healing energy. And I look over out of the corner of my eye and my cat Sweet Pea is laying in the medicine bag, which has been spread out kind of like, it looks like a little tablecloth on the ground. And I peered over at her and she had placed her favorite toy right in the center of it. And I thought, oh, maybe she's playing. It is kind of a Sweet Pea sized piece of fabric, but she got up and left it there and came and laid beside me for the whole ceremony and left it alone all night. So what a sweet demonstration of offering. And that's what sparked today's message. So they want to start with the quality of that offering particularly. That wasn't just any toy of Sweet Pea's, that was her favorite yellow ball. And that makes it all the sweeter, right? When you offer something that's really, really important to you, not just donating essentials is really nice, like canned food or extra clothes or something like that. But when you're giving a gift to someone and you give something that's really, really important to you or really personal to you, it really means a lot. And I feel like that energy is infused into that item. And they're showing it kind of like this golden glow. And it's like this love, very high vibrational energy that Spirit is inviting us to hold in our lives and in our interactions. And now they want to talk about different things that you can offer. So, you don't have to have a lot of material stuff to do offerings. You could offer your time. You could offer your affection, your energy. Maybe someone just needs somebody to listen to them. Those are very valuable things. And if you infuse it with that energy of this is an offering from my heart, it suddenly just puts this blanket of warmth around the whole situation, which feels really beautiful. And also, they want to talk about worthiness and how that kind of plugs into offerings. And they're saying, if you struggle with worthiness or with allowing yourself to receive, starting with offerings is actually a really helpful place to kick it off, which seems kind of counterintuitive, right? But if you think of it as like this golden strand, like a highway of golden energy of giving and receiving, it's in the same energy field, but it just goes in opposite directions. So they're saying the more you practice giving from your heart, the more you will be able to give yourself permission to receive from someone else's heart, because you'll really start to resonate with the value of those offerings and then feel more attuned to actually receiving it and more on that vibrational highway. They keep calling it a highway, funny enough. And then lastly, what they want to talk about is really cultivating gratitude, which is what giving offerings is all about. So they're showing kind of different scenarios of cultivating gratitude through offerings. So it could be, you know, maybe you have a picture of a loved one or an ancestor altar of some sort, maybe someone that you're remembering in spirit. You could just put a little shot glass or a little container with maybe their favorite drink or something, or maybe you give them a portion of a milkshake or something that they enjoyed while they were here on earth. And you could just sit it by their picture for a day and just talk to them. You could even cook them something, cook them their favorite meal and put it by, some people even do this at grave sites. You know, I know that's not really an American thing, but I think it's a really amazing tradition. And I wish American culture integrated that more, spending more time at the grave site, not just leaving flowers there, but maybe even like leaving food or even like eating part of the food with the person as if you're at a dinner table together. And it could be as simple as, I'm in line at Dunkin' Donuts and I have some extra change on me and I'm going to buy for the person behind me just because I'm grateful to be in a place where I can go get myself a cup of coffee. You know, there's definitely been times in my life where I did not have the means to do that. So just showing that support for humanity generally is what they're saying is where this beautiful golden energy is coming from. Sharing offerings with spirit, offerings with your fellow neighbors, and then receiving the offerings yourself as well is this beautiful vibration that we're being invited to tap into. And I know we're rounding the corner of Thanksgiving, so I wonder if that's why they're bringing it up and gift giving. But it's definitely a really fun, kind of sparkly, cozy energy to be in. So that is what they wanted to talk about as far as offerings go. I have a feeling they will continue to pop in as they usually do. So let me just take a minute to check in with you guys. Hey, Dawn, she says, I got here on time. Thank you so much for showing up. I always love to see you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with our week ahead readings. As usual, I will invite you to tap into your heart space. Let's just let the day melt away. Like golden wax from a candle. Let's just let that kind of roll down the body and neutralize into the ground and send Mother Earth a little bit of that loving energy as well. So let's take a deep breath in. And an exhale out. Inviting your spirit guides to come near you now. And we're asking, which group holds my message for the week ahead? Being open to receiving that message, however it may come. You may see, hear, feel, or know that it is group 1, 2, or 3, or you may feel very drawn to one of the objects that I'm going to show you. So, love this. We are using paints today. So here is group number 1. These are Winsor Newton paints. This one is called Cerulean Blue. Okay, group number 2 is a nice classic Cad Yellow, Cadmium Yellow. And group number 3, we have Winsor Violet. All right, so we should have our groups chosen. Today we're going to use the Light Seers Tarot and then the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. So let's go ahead and get started with group number 1. If you felt drawn to the Cerulean Blue, let's go ahead and get your tarot cards. I feel like they're already talking about sleeping patterns for group number 1. Oh, one of your cards just skipped out over the deck, so we will take that one. Okay. And I'm feeling this kind of tingling in the back of my head, so I feel like maybe your spirit guides are working on you, particularly your crown chakra while you're sleeping. Or you could even be sensing this and waking up. So maybe you keep waking up as you're sleeping. Let's see what Spirit has to say beyond that. So first we will start with the Three of Wands. Strength. And the Six of Wands. Wow. Okay, let's take a look here. So these are all fire cards. So if I had to take a guess, I would say that you are probably a fire sign because we have 2 wands and the Leo card. Strength is the Leo card. So you probably have some prominent fire placements in your chart. This week ahead feels very empowering. It feels like you're stepping into your power. In the past, it looks like you were planning ahead for something and you're waiting for your ships to come in. And this week, it feels like you're stepping into your power and really owning it and starting to believe that this manifestation is happening, that it's right around the corner. And in the future position of this spread, we have the Six of Wands, which is the card of victory, of recognition. Very, very beautiful. So let's get your guidance from your angels and ancestors. Maybe we'll get some more clarity about what the situation has to do with, but oh wow, right off the bat, what an amazing group. Congratulations. All right. I feel like you have 2 in here. So what does group number 1 need to know for their week ahead? Okay, we have the Hermit card and Trader. Okay. So this does feel either career oriented or passion project oriented. I hope that makes sense. So if you have your own business, this would definitely be that would be your big manifestation, is something that has to do with public recognition within the space of your business. Maybe acknowledgement. People are starting to acknowledge you as an expert. People are starting to celebrate you and you're starting to allow yourself to be seen and receive that recognition. There is this invitation. This is so interesting because all of these cards are very outward facing, fiery energy. But then we have the Hermit who invites you to go inward and consult your inner guide. So there is this aspect of balance between internal and external for the week ahead for group number 1. So you might be getting so much attention. It almost feels like a big influx of communication. So maybe you have a lot of people calling you, a lot of people trying to make appointments with you, a lot of people wanting your advice about something. And Spirit is saying, make sure that that is split 50-50, 50 inward. You give yourself half of the investment of your energy so that, you have a full enough cup to be able to give to other people and to be able to show up when they have a need and fulfill it. So there is this, Spirit's like lovingly saying, we don't want you to overexert yourself. We know this is super exciting, but we do really want you to take care of yourself and make sure you get plenty of sleep. That's the second time they brought up sleep. With the Trader, exchange energy to create abundance. That's almost exactly what Spirit was talking about with offerings. So again, time is coming up and communication. So maybe there is an opportunity to offer your time in an aspect of your career or your passion project that could be really meaningful to you and others. It feels like there's going to be a really meaningful connection made in the week ahead. So Spirit's giving you a heads up for that. Whatever that is, make sure that you are present and ready to say yes. It feels like you're going to be invited to do business with someone, to collaborate with someone. And it feels like that's going to be a pretty big deal. They're also talking about getting some kind of download. So you might even be invited to do like a spirit circle, for example, or some kind of group meditation, group study. a peer of some sort, I feel like, is going to be a source of connection for you in the next week and provide a really valuable and meaningful energetic highway. Again, they're showing that golden thread of giving and receiving. So it feels like that energy is going to be welcomed into your field. I feel like there's one more. Oh, and it just fell out. And look at that. It is the eagle. Nice. So they're bringing attention to this third eye energy here. They were talking about a download just a minute ago. So perhaps it's something in the third eye. Maybe you're going to be getting an upgrade there. But also the eagle, they're talking about the eagle in shamanic medicine. So the eagle's lesson is to fly wing to wing with spirit. And that is the direction of the east, of the rising sun. So I feel like there's something to do with the sunrise, maybe an invitation to get up with the sunrise and have that quiet moment alone with yourself each day to be able to dedicate that inward energy to yourself. So, wow, it feels like someone here has a really chatty spirit guide, but in a way that's really bright and vibrant and endearing. So if that resonates for you, I feel like that's confirmation that someone has chosen the right group, which sometimes they like to do. So those were your messages. If you chose group number 1, I hope that resonated, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, group number 2 is already getting a message. If you chose the Cad Yellow acrylic paint, let's go ahead and get your tarot and get started with your week ahead messages. Right away, I feel like I am getting ahead of myself. So you might be feeling like that, group number 2, like you take 2 steps forward and then 3 steps back. It feels like this weird kind of yo-yo energy, and it feels like I'm always ahead, but in an inconvenient way. I just heard the phrase out of step. So you could just feel like you're making unnecessary mistakes. There's this kind of energy of embarrassment going on here. So let's get some tarot and then we'll get some guidance of what's going on in your week ahead. Okay, you got the Fool card. All right, these cards are coming out fast. Okay. So for group number 1, first we have the Fool card, and she's wearing yellow. How perfect is that? Then you have the Ace of Swords. And then, buckle in. Don't be scared. It's not scary, I promise, but it is the Tower, okay? And I've just realized during these readings that we record or do live, the Tower doesn't seem to show up very often. So let's see what Spirit has to say about this. Interesting enough, it's, okay, so this is you, and it's like you're looking forward and kind of anticipating a Tower moment. And Spirit wants to remind you to focus on what you want, not what you don't want, if that makes sense. So for example, if I am concerned about my car, if I keep thinking about my car breaking down or my car having problems and visualizing it, it puts that energy out into the universe and it might reflect back at you. So this is kind of a reminder to clarify your perspective and your intentions, because it feels like there's some really strong magnetic energy here, and they keep showing me electricity, so there could be something going on with electricity with maybe your home or something like that. Let's see, they are talking about some kind of realization or some kind of truth that you'll be able to land on this week. So maybe you've had trouble getting really clear about something, and this would be mental energy. Swords is always about air energy and thinking. So I'm seeing some kind of circular thinking. Maybe you've been thinking yourself into like a thicket of thoughts that you're having a hard time getting out of. And Spirit's going to help you clarify it and go, listen, this is the truth. This is the one idea that we want you to focus on. Please don't create a tower moment for yourself, is what they're saying. But this does have to do with a new start that you've recently ventured on. So let's go ahead and get some clarifying guidance with this kind of electric energy that's going on with group number 2. This could also have to do with if you are spiritually sensitive, or if you, gosh, it feels like supercharged and foggy at the same time. Does that make sense? It feels like if you are a sensitive person, and for example, you can hear spirit, it feels like people are talking over each other and you can't really discern what anyone's saying. So when that's happening, especially with the yellow here, there could be a solar plexus imbalance that you could be invited to put some loving attention on. Because if the solar plexus is out of balance and you're a channeler, it can affect the electricity around you. So it can make light bulbs pop out, or lights flicker, or even, you know, the car could have trouble. Sorry, one of your cards fell on the ground. Okay, so let's get started with your guidance. We have the Mirror Guardian. Okay, She-Wolf. And I'm going to save this last one for last because you're going to love it. Okay, so kind of similar to group number 1, there's this invitation to look inward and look at this galaxy. So this is an invitation to connect with your true essence and to connect that with the universe, if that makes sense. So if this is you, you know, with the Ace of Swords, this is sacred knowledge that is coming down, that's being offered to you. And again, similar to group number 1, they are inviting you to consult your inner guide and to realize that that energy is universal, that you're not alone. I do get a sense that there's this feeling of being alone, and my nose is so itchy. And usually when that happens, there's fairy energy around. So if you resonate with fairies, just know that that is a confirmation that you have chosen the right group. Okay, and then with She-Wolf, unleash the wild within. Yeah, it's like there's this release coming up, and Spirit's trying to help you get ahead of it so that it's not like a destructive release of energy. So it feels like there's all this mental energy that's building up and building up and building up. I really feel like maybe someone here is a writer. So if you write down, if you journal, like just brain dump, if you know what that is, where you just write pages and pages and pages, not worrying if anything makes sense. I feel like that's really going to help you calm down, and it's really going to help you ground and get clear about what you really want and not focusing on what you don't want, so that you don't accidentally attract that. Now, Spirit is saying, if you're able to follow those steps and work with us, we're going to usher in the energy of the Lady for you, for group number 2. The Lady is about abundance and money. Yeah, she says, enjoy growth and reap rewards. So she's one of the best cards in this deck. So don't be afraid of this Tower. It's in the future position, so it hasn't happened yet. And they also want me to clarify something about cards and any kind of reading. So when we're reading this energy, we're just reading your current energy as it is. You know, energy is always fluid. You can always change it. So if you're hearing something that's concerning, just change it. Just change it. You know, you're not doomed to a Tower moment. They're just saying, hey, since you're here and you're receiving this message, we want to help you reshape that moment into something beautiful, into this abundant moment. So I hope that was helpful, group number 2. Please let me know if you did choose that group, because it was a really intense energy that was a little difficult to read. So I feel for you if you were in that group. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that resonated, and I will see you next time. Okay, so for group number 3, if you chose the Winsor Violet tube of acrylic paint, let's go ahead and get your week ahead messages. Already this energy feels really, really different. It feels like maybe you are taking a pause this week. Maybe you'll have some time to reground spiritually or get in touch with some spiritual practices. So let's get your week ahead messages for group number 3. What do they need to know for their week ahead for the highest good of all? Okay. I just need, whoop, there we go. Okay, so we have the 9 of Swords, the Hermit. Hermit energy is coming out today. And the King of Swords, okay. So again, there's an invitation to consult the inner guide, to go within and reconnect to your light as well. I do feel like with this group particularly, wow, what a beautiful, humble soul you are. I feel like you are a really, really bright light, but it's almost as if your soul is like a big candelabra that has like a lot of different flames, it's almost like you're only visualizing the one flame when you're like 10 flames, you know, you're like, you got a lot going on. So Spirit is inviting you to reconnect with that energy inward, so that can radiate out. I feel like you tend to be a guide for other people, kind of unintentionally. It feels like people sense that about you and might ask you for directions if you're like on vacation and you don't live there, but you're just like a person that people know can help in some way, and they just want your help. So I hope that's resonating. And I really love that about you. So good for you. I do see in the past position, we do have an anxiety card here. This can also talk about sleepless nights, worrying, fear, being up late at night, or even nightmares, being woken out of your sleep. And I'm getting this, they're showing me the scenario. If you do wake up from a bad dream, I see you getting out of bed, like getting up and walking around and sitting down maybe in a chair with a cup of tea to just kind of tap in to that inner guide. And you know, I mean, it sucks to have a nightmare. I know it can be really terrible, trust me, but they're saying it just feels like you're gonna have some night owl energy this week, and maybe some time to yourself that you wouldn't normally get. And they're saying that it's like a sacred opportunity to reconnect with yourself and root into that beautiful luminescence that you have. And then, of course, we have the King of Swords. So this would be like mastery of logic, of communication. This is someone who is very honest and very confident in their word. So I feel like you are a very articulate person. Again, the owl is showing up, so that might be a spirit guide for you, the owl. Let's go ahead and get your guidance cards and kind of clarify what advice Spirit has for you for group number 3. Okay, what does group number 3 need to know for their highest good? Oh, okay. All right, we have the Earth Guardian and the White Witch. Be the light. Oh my gosh, yes, that is you. Look, your owl is there too. Oh my gosh. Girl, what did we just say? Okay, so again, this is just, we might need to get another oracle card because Spirit is just really wanting to let you know what a light you are, what a treasure you are, what a gift you are. You really do light up the world around you, and people really see that and can really feel it. And so there's this invitation for you to light up your own world as well, to take that time by yourself, and really I feel like you are a healer. I feel like you have healing abilities. And Spirit's saying, you know, maybe we can help you heal yourself a little bit, help you give back to yourself, give back to yourself. And then, of course, the Earth Guardian, stay rooted and grounded. Yeah, I feel like there's been this tendency, maybe in the past week or two for you, you could have been dealing with a lot of anxiety, maybe with a lot of pain or worry about something in particular. And Spirit's really going to help you tap into this heart chakra and ground and step out of this energy. We're going to step out of this anxiety, out of the nightmares, out of the sleepless nights, and into this inner peace with the Hermit, so that you can embody this confidence, this logical, confident communicator. I feel like you're a great communicator. So let's get you one more card. Spirit also, maybe this is one of your spirit guides. I just heard Happy Halloween. So maybe you had something special happen to you on Halloween, but someone was around you for that. And they said that they had a good time. So maybe you were trick-or-treating with your kids, or you did something special, but Spirit wanted to acknowledge that. Okay, and then lastly, we have the High Priestess. Yes. Okay. And she says, harness mystic power. So again, I mean, Spirit is being really repetitive with these messages, but it just means that they are really hammering home what a light you are, what a gift you are, and how important it is that you reconnect with yourself so that it's not dimmed. You know, if you let yourself get tired and get consumed by these anxious thoughts or sleepless nights, it can make it difficult for that light to really shine. And also you might even start to forget how bright you really are. So Spirit's inviting you to harness that and to connect with them and stay grounded this week. So it feels like you might even find yourself in a situation where people are looking at you for your ideas with this King of Swords. And they're saying, remember to own it, to own your logic, to own your communication skills. A very talented communicator and a very, very bright, beautiful soul. So those were your messages for those of you who chose group number 3. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. All right. I see that Lola and Merlin were here. Thank you, ladies, so much for joining me. Oh, it is good to be back, but it does feel like there's been a lot of energy. The energy was really, really kind of crazy and high, and like electric, you know, through the Halloween holiday. So I feel like we're coming down from that and we're getting a little more cozy. It feels like there's stuff going on with the heart chakra and with that golden light, again, of giving and receiving and tapping into the energy of offerings. So if you are feeling drawn to acknowledge your ancestors, just know that that's totally on par for what Spirit's wanting to talk about. And of course, you know, let me know in the comments if you've experienced anything similar, like if your animal or child like pretty much gave an offering that was so, so sweet. Like my kitty cat with her favorite toy in the medicine bundle. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.